Hey, it's Dr. Schmidt. So I just had a staff meeting, and during our staff meeting, we go over successes of various patients. I got three I want to share with you. They're phenomenal, and they all occurred within a short period of time, like 4 or 5 weeks. And then I have a lesson to teach at the very end. So I'll make this quick. But I have a patient I talked to a month ago, and she had leg edema, meaning her legs are swollen. Constipation was severe. And she said to me that 20 years ago, she did a fast and she got rid of a tapeworm 20 years ago. So when she told me that, I was like, okay, you still have tapeworms. You still have something parasite wise. So I put her on some supplements. And on the third day, she felt really tired. Her stomach was nauseous. She couldn't get up from the couch to let the dog out. She was that tired. And this is around the full moon, too. And then on the fourth day, she got rid of a 3-foot tapeworm. And she's been getting rid of parasites ever since. It's been 4 or 5 weeks now. Her edema in her legs are 80 to 90% better. She can see her ankle bones, and her constipation is 70 to 80% better. So that's phenomenal. That's truly getting somebody well. I mean, you think a cholesterol-lowering drug will do anything for you? Compare that with these kind of results, and it's not always pleasant. You have your ups and downs as you get better. The next person, allergies for 5 years, sinus infections, ear infections on a monthly basis for 5 years. And I put him on some supplements to clear out the sinuses. He had postnasal drip. I put him on some ear drops, some liquid herbal ear drops. And it's been 5 weeks. He said the last month has been the best month he's had in 5 years. And he also has some ochratoxin, which is one of the mycotoxins from black mold. He had a leak in his house, so he had some black mold exposure. So yeah, this phenomenal results. There's no antihistamines, there's no Benadryl. It's all supplements, and we're fixing that up. And he's having great results with that. And it's just a short period of time. The third one, I talked to him yesterday. So here's the deal. 1 month ago, when I first talked to him on the phone, he said that he would surf. He started surfing in 2014. In 2017, he hit his head. So he had trauma. He quit surfing. Then his body started to ache, muscle aches, joint stiffness, and tinnitus was severe. And as he's talking to me, this is over the phone, I just said, look, it sounds like you have parasites. And so I put him, recommended some supplements. This was on a Thursday when we first talked on the phone. He told me that he talked to his wife that night and said, yeah, I talked to that guy, Dr. Schmidt. I don't buy into it. I don't believe what he said is to be true. I don't think I have parasites. But whatever, he ordered the supplements. So that was on a Thursday when he told his wife he didn't believe me. The next day, Friday, he felt a piece of hair on his tongue. And he's grabbing the hair. You know how it is. It's disgusting. You try to pull that hair off your tongue. He's thinking about his daughters and his wife, and he's going to complain about women with long hair. So he grabs his hair off his tongue. He pulls out a 14-inch tapeworm. And it's so disgusting at that moment. He vomits 2 more parasites immediately after that. So he believes now that he's got parasites. He got the supplements 10 days later. And so he's gotten rid of some parasites through the intestines like that too. So now the lesson, that's phenomenal. I'm sorry it's gross and all that, but that's what it takes to get better. If you're sick, if you're chronically sick, you got chronic aches and pains and joints always hurt and you get bloating and sinus problems, you got to think you got organisms in your body. That's just Mother Nature. That's just how it goes. And medicine misses this all the time. So, but the thing here is like, how did this guy, he didn't believe he had parasites. He's got a clean life, you know, he's got a clean house. People don't think they have parasites. Well, he used to surf. He surfed in the ocean. There's parasites in the ocean. There's parasites in rivers, and there's in the soil and in the sand and on animals and in your food. That's how you get parasites. So I swam this weekend in the lake that I've been swimming in since 1993. I'm not going to not swim in that lake, but I'm on supplements for parasites. So, but the question is, he also had Lyme symptoms, and he tested positive for Lyme in a lab test. So is it really Lyme? Yeah. But parasites will hold on to Lyme. Parasites make those infections worse in your body. And then the question is, why the title of this video, how can health crash so quickly and so suddenly? Well, it's not usually that way. Usually what happens is somebody has a poor lifestyle regarding health. Not that they could be eating junk food or not, but they've never been in ketosis and they've never gotten rid of parasites. They never did a parasite cleanse once a year like we always did in the past for millennia, for centuries. Different cultures use different herbs to get rid of parasites on a regular basis. We don't do that anymore. That's a poor lifestyle choice to not do a regular parasite cleanse like once a year. So you put all this together, surfing in the ocean and eating standard American diet or whatever, and then you have a trauma. He had the head trauma. Other people have a car accident. Other people have bad news, like a parent dies or they lose their job. So it could be physical trauma, it could be emotional trauma. But there's years before that of building up of stressors in the body and hints of poor health. And then you have that one severe trauma, and then you have the crash. Then you get severe fatigue. Then you get, the muscle aches and pains and the brain fog and all that stuff. Put it all together. This guy had severe tinnitus. It went from 0 to 10 in 2 weeks. So severe problems appear very quickly, but there is a long line of occurrences before the trauma, before the trigger. So there's causes that build up, and then there's a trigger that can make things crash and make your health go down quickly. And then you blame the car accident, you blame the bad news, you blame the head trauma, which, yeah, it does matter. So people go to talk to a psychotherapist, or they get body work for the car accident. They do various things to treat the trauma, but you can't forget the stuff that accumulated for decades before that. The bad diet, the fungus in your body, the parasites in your body, the heavy metals that are in your teeth, or they got injected by a vaccine. These organisms, they need to be taken care of too. So it's not always what you think it is that's causing your health to be lower. It's not always that one moment in time when you had emotional or physical trauma. It's usually a accumulation of causes of toxins, stressors from childhood and up into adulthood. So that's my message. It's time for me to get back to work. I just had to say that I told this to my staff, and they said, you got to say this on YouTube. So these are 3 phenomenal results in 4 to 5 weeks. And one last thing before I go, what's happening with these 3 people, it's ideal. It doesn't sound great, right? Because they get these ups and downs of fatigue and twinges of pain and, grumpiness and brain fog as your body gets better. You have to go through this stuff to get out the other side, to have ideal health. Ideal health. What is that? It's your muscles are strong, your energy's good all day until you fall asleep, and then you sleep all night and you wake up refreshed, and your skin looks healthy and your body is healthy and your brain works well and your hormones and emotions are in check in a natural way. No medications. That's the ideal scene. This is missing in medicine. The ideal scene is not known in medicine. In medicine, they give you a statin drug to lower a number on a lab test. They look at a piece of paper and say, oh, this number's too high, drug it. Okay, and then they look at your thyroid hormones. Oh, this number's too low, drug it. And that's not the ideal scene. So I go on and on about different scenarios, but if you keep in mind, like, what does it take to improve your health so you can have good functioning muscles, good, healthy bones, good functioning brain, put that all together, there's steps that you can take. And there's a lot of information on this. I got to say one more thing. So yeah, I mentioned in a video last week, which by the way, I had to take down. The FTC sent me a letter saying I had to take down a bunch of videos. Here's that letter. And I took down 13 videos. And I'm talking about coronavirus. And the coronavirus There's a lot of them. There's 1,100 coronaviruses, but I can't talk about any of them because if I say the word coronavirus, then the FTC thinks I'm talking about COVID-19, which I'm not. I've always said go to the hospital if you have COVID-19. But even standard medical doctors who are academic or practicing, they can't talk about COVID-19. They can't talk about coronavirus. They can't do anything about it by law, by the FTC. The FTC, which is a bunch of lawyers that are not elected, are telling doctors, don't talk about it. It's against the law. So everybody has their hands cuffed behind their back. Hospitals, that's why 100,000 Americans have died, because the hospitals, the doctors are not allowed to even talk about hydroxychloroquine or azithromycin or zinc or anything nutritional or anything diet-wise. The FTC is coming down on everybody. They're investigating everybody they can think of. And they shut down 50 people. They sent out a letter last week. They shut down 50 people. They'll send out another letter. My name will be on it maybe this week or next. But even hospitals can't talk about it. So this is far, far overreach. You know, Dr. Shiva, he's gotten a little name for himself during this COVID time. He said that this country is run by lawyers and lobbyists, and they're the deep state, and they're the ones that are holding back freedoms and liberties. Well, absolutely, because the two people who signed their name on this document, they're lawyers. They're not doctors. They don't care if anybody dies or lives. All they care about is that the way that they interpret that law. I don't think they're interpreting that law correctly, but I'm in communication with them. I sent them an email this morning. We're going to go back and forth so I can fully understand where they're coming from. And I'm not being a jerk about it. I'm a nice guy, but they have the power because they can fine me $135,000 if I don't comply. And I don't want to give them that kind of money. So there's that. Okay, I got to get going. I got to go see patients. So see you at the next video.